Alright, hi everybody. Welcome back to Flippinlicks. This is episode number 7. And just to reiterate what I've been trying to do here is I'm trying to put a spin on the teacher-student relationship in these video blogs. What I'm doing is I'm posting a video for 15 days, and we started with 2 licks, and I'm working on them as you are, hopefully at home at the same time, so we're trying to work on these 2 licks together. So just increasing speed by 3 beats per minute. So hopefully I'm holding you accountable as you hold me accountable as I have to post these videos. I know it's helped me practice this stuff because I know that I'm going to have to make a video for it every day. So anyway, also in this lesson I'm going to give you my top tips on how to improve your guitar playing today, like right now. So stick around and we will do that at the end. Okay, so let's look today at the Zakk Wylde lick, the one we've been working on first. And today we are at 98 beats per minute. So getting a little faster from what we began. Still got a long way to go, but it's starting to get a little bit trickier, and it's taking me longer to warm up and get to where I'm really smoothly play with the metronome. But also, whenever I do sink into that groove, I know that I'm getting better at the metronome use every day, so I know it's good for me. Also today, what I started doing was trying to incorporate a palm mute more into this lick. Let's just turn on the metronome, and I'll just show you kind of how I was practicing it. Okay, so here we are at 98 beats per minute. Okay, so when we first started this thing, I was just kind of going no palm mute. So today I started trying to incorporate the palm mute into that. Now for me, I do a lot better palm muting on the lower strings, but a lot of the fast shred guys can do it on the high strings, so that's what I'm trying to get to too. So I kind of worked on that a little bit today, and here's what I got. It can be a lot smoother with the lick if you're doing the palm mute. So that's no palm mute. So I just kind of try to go in between those two. Alright, so now I'm going to do the whole lick up and down. Or the whole lick up, I guess, with the palm mute. Here it goes. Alright, so that might be something you try to practice. And I just spent a lot of time working on one little box. So on and so forth. So you can spend a lot of time doing that, and it really helps you catch the groove. Okay, I guess let's just go right on to the next lick. What I'm going to do with it is what we talked about a few videos ago about moving it through the different keys in 4. So we're going to move 1/4 above after we play the lick in each key. So it starts off in the key of E. So let's try it out. I'm also going to try to incorporate more palm muting into it as well as I did the other lick. So here we go. Okay, so I just moved through, 3 or 4 different keys, and if I play it pretty good in a key, I'll go on to the next one. But you could obviously spend a lot more time in each area of the neck or whatever key. So that was, we ended on a D. So just to go over again how I find the next one, you just go down a string. Stop that for a second. Okay, so if I'm in the key of D, playing this Dorian lick, I want to move it up a 4th, I just look down a string and I find what note this is. In this case, that's a G. So then I'm going to find that note on the top string, which is right there, and that's going to tell me where my box is, which is kind of like soloing 101, just to remember where your positions are to play that lick. So that would be if we played it in D. Want to move it up a 4th, we move to G. 4th above that is C. 4th above that is F, which is 2 places you can play that. down here. So like that one if you use the open strings. Alright, so that's a couple of ways I've been practicing those two licks, and then each day that I practice those, I learn more and more tricks myself of just different things I haven't noticed before, or sensations in my hand, or like what works the best for me. So you should be doing the same. So hopefully you're having the same kind of response. Okay, so now for the second part of the lesson, I'm just going to tell you what I think are 4 ways to get better at your playing, or to help your playing right now. Alright, so the number 1 that I came up with is to add a mirror into your practice space. And that might sound weird for a lot of you, but when I used to teach lessons, I had some students do that, and they all came back saying that it had helped them. So what happens when you add a mirror is that whenever you're playing, you're practicing, you're just kind of looking down. You have one vantage point of your playing, which is down here. So it all looks, everything looks just what you can see from your eyes from this view. So if you add a mirror, you get a whole other perspective on what you're doing. So whenever I read this in a book, or someone told me about it, and I started doing it, and I started finding things. You start seeing things in your playing that you didn't even know you were doing. So you might notice that your pick strokes are way too wide on your right hand, or you might just be doing something goofy with the finger on your left hand you didn't even see. So adding a mirror will immediately help you recognize things about your playing that you didn't know about before. Okay, so number 2. Okay, this is a good one, and this is one that I've used a lot lately. Watching other guitar players. Okay, that could be going to a concert. That could be watching videos on YouTube, which is a really good one if you're sitting at your computer. If you have a computer in your practice space, it's always helpful for me to go and Google Stevie Ray Vaughan, or Jimi Hendrix, or Michael Bloomfield, or whoever you're into at the time, and just watch a video and see what's possible. That's the reason that's a good thing for your playing, is because if you can see what's possible on a guitar, then it automatically motivates you to want to play, and then you also, it kind of breaks down some barriers in your mind, maybe. Things, if you think it's impossible, you might be trying to practice something like, oh, no one can do this, but if you watch someone really rip through a solo or something, it'll automatically make you feel better about your playing, and you want to get better at it. So that's a big one. Okay, this one kind of goes along with that. This has been a really good one for me, and that one is reading rock biographies, or just guitarist biographies. I've read a whole bunch of them. The Jimi Hendrix one, Roomful of Mirrors, is my favorite. Led Zeppelin has one. It's called Hammer of the Gods. Clapton has one out. I'm reading Keith Richards right now. And what you end up finding when you read those is a lot of those guys did the same thing. Dwayne Allman has a really good one too, called Skydog. But a lot of those dudes practiced a whole lot, and it's just kind of you can read the exact things they did at that period of their life, or wherever you're at in your career as a guitarist or a musician. You can find out exactly what they did at the time, and it's always helped my playing to just. I mean, that's kind of how I figured out how to do a lot of stuff that I do. It's like, oh, Jimi Hendrix did it this way. All right, so those are all good ones, and the 4th one is to plan out your practice week by week. So this is something that I've done for a very long time, and it's helped my playing immensely. What you want to do is you pick a day of the week. Sunday's a good one because it's kind of a downtime day, and you just take these categories. There's 4 of them. One is a warm-up. The second one is technique, which in that you want to work on your left hand, right hand, and maybe playing to a backing track to help your phrasing. The third thing is theory. So you want to work on chords, scales, arpeggios, whatever it is that you need to work on. Just pick 1 or 2 things. And the last one, the most important, is songs, which could be a lick that you're working on, or it could also be, I mean, it should be a whole song. I've spent months and months on one song trying to get to sound exactly like the guitarist that I'm trying to emulate. Okay, so those are 4 things that should be able to help your playing right now. Think about it, get back to me, email me at flippinlicks@gmail.com and let me know what you think. Have a good night, talk to you later, bye.